Okay, so hi, my name is Evan, and I'm a senior client strategist on the Postscript Plus team. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to leverage SMS content planning and just making sure that you are able to diversify your content to make it fun for your subscribers.
Whether I'm kind of new to SMS or I've been dabbling with it for quite a while, I think it's a little overwhelming to think about kind of a month of content. And sometimes, especially as I sometimes manage like text coming from Postscript,
Mhm.
I can feel like it's kind of a reactive channel where we're sending things as stuff pops up. So, how might I get a little more comfortable and confident with like a month of SMS content?
Something that I do with my brands, I work with a lot of my brands to build their content around a few pillars. And these pillars include product education, product highlight, sales and promotions, obviously, product launches, reviews, and my favorite, which is engagement or conversational type of messaging. So once you kind of have that as a pillar, you're able to then frame and decide, okay, do we want to do two conversational messages this month? Do we want to do two product highlights? That helps you, like I said, yeah, just build off of that.
I love the idea of the 5 pillars because I think the it's a nice distribution of different types of campaigns and messages you can send out every
Mhm.
month. So, how do you have them kind of pick from the pillar? Does it depend on like what the brand's focus is that month? Do you try and make it so that you're hitting each of the pillars, or should it be a nice
Yeah.
mix of the pillars? Like, how do you kind of determine what a month of texts might look like for a brand?
If they're open to it, I would say try to hit as many as possible because it just makes it easier to diversify the content that you're sending out to your subscribers. It provides more value. You're able to test out different things with different audiences if you diversify your content as opposed to just kind of sticking to one or two. And you're not always going to be able to use all the pillars. You might not have a product launch planned for a few months, or you might not have a sale planned. You can lean more into the evergreen, like product highlights. You can lean into reviews. You can lean into product education and engagement types of campaigns.
I love the product education pillar.
Mhm.
Do you have like an example top of mind of what that looks like?
Yes. So I have a brand, they're a home gym brand, and they do a really good job of following up with purchases or anyone who's viewed a specific product to then educate them on how to use that product or the equipment that they viewed or purchased. And we had one campaign where we linked to a YouTube video showing how to do 5 exercises with our barbell and plates, and that was very popular because obviously people were like, oh yeah, I've just purchased this product. Some people might know exactly what it is and how they're going to incorporate it into their workouts, and other people are looking for inspiration. So we framed it around like, yeah, if you need inspo, here you go, link to that YouTube video. And it was yeah, one of the more popular campaigns that we'd sent recently.
In terms of segmenting, like, is that something you would send to people that have, like, browsed an item and not purchased it yet? Or is it also something that you would send to someone that actually did buy it and you're just trying to, like, further create kind of, like, loyalty and goodwill and education there? Or is it both?
I would say it's both, because in this case, we did send it to both of those segments. It was an engaged segment of people who had viewed the product or similar products, as well as others who had purchased that particular like barbell set. So the idea behind this is for those who haven't purchased, it kind of pushes them over the conversion line a little bit more. And they're like, oh yeah, I can do X, Y, and Z with this product. Let me go ahead and purchase it. And then for those who have purchased it, it's like, okay, yeah, this I now have inspiration on how to better use this product that I've just purchased.
You mentioned conversational
Yes.
as a pillar. What might that look like in practice?
This is actually one of my favorite types of messaging to send out. It's basically a way to encourage two-way communication with your subscribers. What that does, when you're able to get a subscriber to text back, you're building a deeper level of engagement with them. I don't know about you, but if you're texting back a brand, you're invested to some degree. Outside of just asking a question, if they say something and you're responding to them, you're building, yeah, a deeper level of engagement.
Since you just have so many great brands at your fingertips, I'd love to just know which one kind of has lingered with you as a favorite, as a conversational campaign.
Yeah, so we did this with a supplement brand. They're very big on just being active and just enjoying life and going after adventures and obviously fueling your adventures with their products. And what they've done both on social and on email and SMS is they have built a really good sense of community with their subscribers. And one their POC at some point reached out and said, "How do we just go even deeper on SMS with moving beyond just sales promos, that very standard type of messaging? How can we just make people feel more connected and not have SMS just be this channel that they're just getting promotional messages on?" So we came up with the idea of doing weekly or bi-weekly conversational types of messaging, and we would just send out random, like the most random messages. It could be like a motivation. We had done one where we told people, "Hey, take a break, go drink some water," and that was it. And
Mm.
we started to notice that people were really engaging with this type of messaging, and they'd be like, "Oh, thank you for not trying to push something on me." Or we would send out a joke, like some really bad dad jokes, and a lot of people would respond and say that was very funny, or they would send their jokes back in. So we started building that rapport. Obviously, we're going to give you value in terms of our product because it works, but we also want to make this a fun space, make SMS a fun space. So when you get our messages, you're more likely to click as opposed to just like swiping it.
And anecdotally, if I have like had a fun exchange over text with a brand, the
Mhm.
likelihood that I'm gonna opt out when they do hit me with some sale is so much lower th-
Exactly.
than if it's a brand that's just been like spamming me a straight feed of sales for six
Exactly.
months,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. And something else that we did with this brand, we had asked them if you could only choose one spoon to use for the rest of your life, what would it be? A big spoon or a little spoon? It was the most random thing. I don't know. I must have been on TikTok when I saw something that sparked that inspiration. And I thought, oh yeah, why not? This would be a good question to ask to the subscribers. It was so simple and so silly, but we got so much engagement out of that message. We got tons and tons and tons of responses. People are very opinionated on their spoons. I wasn't expecting that level of engagement, but I did hear some very compelling arguments for both big and little spoons. I am a little spoon girly, but I did, yeah.
Little
I heard some good arguments for big spoons.
I'm gonna go little spoon for sweets, desserts.
Okay.
I'm gonna go big spoon for savory.
You know what? That was the theme of kind of what that was the theme of what we
Opposite.
heard. Yeah,
Opposite. Giant ice cream spoon, tiny
that's
mustard
I
spoon.
see. I see that. I see that as well.
You're gonna
Um,
slurp chicken noodle soup out of like a thimble-sized spoon, Laura?
Okay,
she's
soup's a
savoring it
different
a bit more.
category altogether. In general, what this is telling me, and this is like
Mhm.
something, this is like the hill I think we are all willing to die on. Brands are not having enough fun over text. There are
Absolutely.
all these brands that their brand has huge personality. Like you go on the website, you get the lifestyle, you get the tone, you can tell like what
Mhm.
the customers are into, and then they often send just like very basic
Very
campaigns,
bland.
and you're kind of like,
Yeah.
wow, there's a huge opportunity here.
Yeah.
And I'm curious on like how you like approach that, because I'm sure there's a lot of brands that are like, we just don't use SMS for that. Like SMS is not
Yeah.
where we show our personality, which is kind of wild because it's like texting is your most
Yeah.
fun channel, especially like just with your friends. What
Yeah.
are some of the things that you might suggest a brand that's like, I don't know if this is going to hit? Like, what would you suggest they just try right out of the gate? Like, just something they try.
Right off the bat, you just want to A/B test. Do it with a segment that you know is already bought in. For anyone who's trying to dabble into conversational a bit, I would say start with a motivational message, like a random Monday motivation or Wednesday midweek motivation. That was how we started with the brand that I mentioned, just sending out, hey, you can do this. It's almost Friday, hang on until Friday. And then we were just able to continue to build off of that momentum. So start small, start with an A/B test, start with an engaged segment, and I think you'll just feel more comfortable and confident to begin to expand that once you see if it works. And sometimes it doesn't work, and okay, we did it, it didn't work. You can close the door on that, but you always do want to test.